Hey everybody, I am your hair advocate, Dana Wilson, and today we're going to get started with our new series called Meet the Certified Sisterlocks Consultant. And we're going to get started in 2 minutes. All right. I am Dana Wilson, the CEO and Director of Hair Cares Inc. I'm a certified trichologist and a Sister Lock trainer and coach. And today I'm here to present our new series called Meet the Certified Sister Lock Consultant. I have been in the Sisterlocks family for about over 22 years now. And even now, the demand for Sisterlocks is still high. So I thought it would be greatly beneficial to the world to be introduced to some of our practitioners and some of the people that make up the Sisterlocks Society. And today we have a special guest. I'm so excited. We have Miss Alfreda Wormley, which we call her Freda. I just want to give you a little bit of her bio, and then I will bring her out so we can chat it up. So Freda is a certified our certified Sisterlock consultant and a brand ambassador. She is the owner and operator of Locks on the Horizon Inc., located in Wake Forest, North Carolina. However, she is actually expanded to Virginia, which is where I'm at. So I'm excited about that. She took the Sister Lock training in 2013, and after a couple little nudges from other consultants, she got certified. So I want to hear. I can't wait to ask her about that. Anyway, she's been in the Sister Lock family. She's took refresher classes, all kind of classes, and so that she can stay in standard and on top of making sure that she provide her clients with the real Sister Locks. We'll talk a little bit about that too. So I'm excited to bring her forward and let her share everything else about her story. So let me bring Miss Freda into the room. Hey, Freda. And look, you put Freda up there too, right? That's what
I did.
So listen, I know I rambled and I told a little bit about you, but you are the best one to share your story. But just tell us briefly just where you're at and what you're doing.
Well, madam, what I'm doing. Okay. This is my 9th year being a Sister Lock practitioner.
Okay.
I took the class in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And as everybody know, when you take the class, you have to do 3 heads in order to get certified.
Yes.
So when I originally first started it, I was just, doing heads and trying to make sure every head I did was better than the last head,
Okay.
following the guidelines and making sure I'm dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's. And
Yes.
I was talking to one of the first person to train me, which was Marklin.
Mm-hmm.
And she reached out to me and she was like, so how many establishments have you done? Because I number them when I put them on social media.
Okay. Okay.
And at that particular time when she asked, I was on number 33. She
Oh,
said,
okay.
33. And those of us that know Marklin's a straight shooter. She, no
Yeah.
frills, no lace, you ain't gotta wonder what she's thinking, very transparent. So she said, you only had to do one of those threes, not two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You only do 3 clients, not 33 clients.
Yes.
So she said, I think you need to go ahead on and stop and get your paperwork together and send it to the home office so you can get certified, so you can get paid for who you are today, not who you were when you did your first install. So
That was perfect. But Freda, before we go into that, Freda, tell me, how did you get introduced to Sisterlocks at all? How did you get introduced?
I come from a rural area here in North Carolina where it was taboo to have our hair locked or anything but perm European look. It was,
Okay.
that's what we were told to do, that our hair
Mhm.
was bad and we needed to straighten it out, so to
Okay.
speak. So my aunt Delia, she's deceased now,
Mhm.
but she originally told me about Sisterlocks. She had moved from this area, moved to the Raleigh-Durham area, which was a little bit more faster, more metropolitan compared to where we
Okay.
grew up at. So she said, we should get Sisterlocks. And when she was the first person to say anything to me about Sisterlocks. And when
Mhm.
I first heard it, it was like, oh, that's Bob Marley. No,
Oh, oh, okay.
no, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm good. She's like, no, it's like microlocks. When you go to the salons to get microlocks or extensions, it's like that, but it's with your own hair, and it grows and it matures to look like microlocks. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't fathom that. I couldn't
Right.
understand what she meant by that. So she was like, I'm gonna get them. And when I get them, you can follow my journey and you'll understand what I'm saying. I was like, okay, cool. Whereas fate would have it, the night before she was to get hers, she went to a local restaurant and met her fate.
Okay.
So
Oh,
she was killed at that restaurant. So,
okay.
um, so to help me go through the journey of grieving,
Yeah.
I decided to get Sisterlocks
So,
because she was the only one that told me about Sisterlocks. I had over 3,000 friends at that time on social media, and
mhm.
nobody on that friends list had Sisterlocks.
Mhm.
Nobody was talking about Sisterlocks in my community, my church family, on
Yeah.
my job, my family, friends. Nobody had Sisterlocks. If they had locks, they were interlocks or um, um, the freeform locks,
Okay. Traditionalized.
the
Mhm.
traditional locks.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I didn't know anything about Sisterlocks. So all I knew was what she told me. So I went online and keyed in Google Sisterlocks.
Okay.
Google Sisterlocks, the website came up, and then I was like, oh, it's a whole directory of different states, and you have to click on the state and click on. I said, oh, they fancy. I
Go
didn't know that it was such an elite society. I was like, oh, this is a little different here. Not used to this. I'm used to riding by, stopping at a salon because they got a big sign outside saying we
That's
do
right.
microloans. So I didn't know that it was you have to be trained and to look for somebody that's certified, or otherwise
Mhm.
you get what they call step Sisterlocks. Didn't
Right.
know there was such a thing. I thought everybody had was trying to do the right thing by our sisters.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
soon found out that they don't.
True. Mhm. So you got your sister locks. How long did you have your sister locks before you decided you wanted to
A
actually learn how
year.
to? A year. Oh, that was
And it
pretty
came,
fast too.
and let me tell you how. I'm tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
It was a dream.
Okay.
Back to my aunt. My aunt is really is the one that was ushering all this for me via heaven.
Wow, your angel.
Yes. So
Okay.
she was the one that would, like, if I needed today's Sunday and say I don't get paid till Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow I will call her and say I need to borrow $50 or $100 or whatever until I get paid. She would deposit in my account. I would deposit back when I got paid.
Mm-hmm.
This particular night, I had a dream. I needed the $50. She was gone. I didn't know how I was gonna get it. I went on to sleep, and in my dream, she came to me and said, "You should learn how to do sister locks,
Go
and
ahead.
that would be me helping you from heaven."
No.
And I said, "Well, you know, I don't know anything about hair." She said, "They'll teach you all you need to know."
Wait a minute. Now she didn't even take the class.
She didn't even take the class.
She's telling you this. Go
She
ahead.
telling me this from heaven. She didn't even take the class.
Mhm.
Mind you, her background is child education, early
Okay.
childhood education, child development. She knew nothing about hair. Neither did I. All we knew how to do was what our grandmothers taught us: braid, straighten the comb, grease your scalp. That's
Yeah.
all we knew.
Girl, this is juicy. This is juicy. Go ahead.
We didn't know anything about. We didn't have a cosmetology degree. None of that.
Okay.
She taught me how to braid.
Okay.
Because I had a daughter, I needed to learn how to braid her hair.
Mm-hmm. So she
So
tell you from heaven.
she said, "I
Yeah,
need you to take the Sisterlock class, and that will be me helping you from heaven." She
Mm.
said, "Not only will you be able to have a second stream of income, but you'll be able to do your own hair and save money so you don't have to pay somebody else to do your own hair."
Go ahead.
So I was like, okay, okay. So when I woke up from this dream, I said, well, let me go back to the Sisterlock website and see what she was talking about. The class was $1,500.
Mm.
That night I needed $50. I
Mm.
was like, well, maybe that won't the Lord. That must have been the devil. Because I ain't got $1,500.
Go ahead, girl.
So I talked to my dad and my uncle, which I like to call them my armor bearers. They helped me usher me through
Yeah.
the grief process, which is also my aunt's brothers.
Okay.
And I told them about the dream, about the sister locks and all of this. And they was like, well, we're gonna invest in you. We're gonna invest in you. And I said, well, what that mean? And he was like, well, how much do you have? At that time, I had $500 that I was willing to invest in myself at that time. So my uncle was like, my uncle lives in Baltimore, so that's where I was looking at for the class. I could stay with him and go take the class because I'm in North Carolina. We didn't have classes in North Carolina online at that time. So he said, well, I'll give you $500. You call your dad and have him match me. My dad gave me $500 and I took the class.
And Marklin Williams was your.
She was my first trainer, which was the last class they had in North Carolina.
Wow.
I was able to take the class in North Carolina.
You was able to take it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. That is an amazing story, Freda. Really. Your aunt and your angel like that.
Yeah.
So when you took the class, did you know from that moment that this was the thing, your thing? I mean, did you feel like that, or how did you feel when you left the class?
So when I left the class, I felt inadequate.
Okay.
I felt like I waste my dad and my uncle's money.
Okay.
Am I going to be able to really do this? You know, I was a single parent. I'm trying to do a second in-stream income for my family, for my kids. Am I going to be able to do this? I felt it was so much pressure. And I talked to Marklin about it, and she says, well, this was just the first class. You can take the class at many times you want for $150. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
The first 2 years, I took the class 8 times.
Go ahead, girl. Come on with it. I was not playing with nobody.
I wanted to be the best at what I did.
Okay.
I did. I wanted my aunt to be proud. Okay. Every head I did as if I was doing her head.
Okay. Perfect.
So, and the handbook that we get in taking the class has sample pictures of the installation that we are supposed to go by as students to make sure that we are providing the product in which Dr. C, which is the originator of Sisterlocks, that she requires us to do. You know, the product that she wants us to produce. So I would always have that book out, and I would make sure that every head I did looked better than the heads in the book.
Okay.
So I honed in on that so much to the fact that I wanted to be the best at what I did that I forgot all about the paperwork side of the business.
You would.
So Marklin used to always say, it's a part of the training called Mind Your Business.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always give me those gentle nudges and say, are you minding your business?
Go
Are
ahead.
you minding your business? And I was like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm talking about, she was talking about the paperwork side of it.
Right.
I was talking about the hands-on side of it.
Right.
So you have to learn that it's two different sides that have to mesh together in order for it to be a perfect product.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, okay, so she nudged you like Marklin do, and you got your certification. What was the difference between being certified and not being certified?
Well, the money, first of all,
okay.
More people automatically look for certified consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the certified consultants are the best, which they should be.
Yes.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yes.
But that's not always the case.
That's true.
But when somebody that's on the outside that's green, as I once was, and when I went to the website, I saw that they had trainees, and I also saw that they had certified. I automatically went to the certified because if I'm going to put that much money and invest in myself and my hair, I want to make sure it was done right the first time.
Okay.
So is the automatic thing for you to do is to go with somebody that has more experience.
Okay.
And I went with a consultant. So with me getting certified, I started to get more hits. More people started to email me or contact me via social media to I mean from all over the world, not just from the area that I was in. I had somebody that sent for me from Arlington, Texas. It was my first out of state installation. And, learning how to do a consultation abroad online, and I think at the time they had what was their streaming income? Their streaming system that they had. Because we didn't have
Oh, now you're gonna make us be old on here. Now,
it was an older one.
MySpace. Are you talking about MySpace?
Not MySpace.
Oh,
we didn't have Zoom. We had I can't think of it. Lord. It wasn't Zoom, but we was able to listen. Skype. Yeah, that's what it was. Skype. We had Skype, so we was able to do Skype and the best that I could, and I was able to. She flew me out to Arlington to do her install.
Go ahead, girl.
Oh yeah. So had I not been pushed to do more than just the bare minimum, and to really learn and to had I not taken the classes to really learn the terminology, because we hear a lot of people say, well, I do call me and say, oh, I have 4C hair, or I have 4A or 4B, and in the Sisterlock world, we don't listen to that. That's so I'm like, well, thank you for telling me that information. However, that information is not going to help me understand your need. You're going to need to do a consultation.
Right.
So I can, do hands-on and know what we're dealing with.
So you were not a hair person. You took the class. You got certified. Where were you doing business? Were you home base? Were you?
I started at home. Okay. I actually started the lady that started my locks. I actually started in her salon.
Okay.
She was like, if you take the class, I'll mentor you for a year.
Okay.
I was like, cool, okay. She said, I'll mentor you for a year for free. That was even better, right?
Hey.
I was like, shit, I'm winning. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So around my fourth head, she came over to the side where I was working at, and she was like, oh, you don't need a mentor. She said, you are no longer my mentee. You are my colleague.
Okay.
I didn't know what that meant until days after, when I got an email with an attachment saying, for a contract saying, this is how much it's going to pay for you to work here.
Go ahead. You knew exactly what
I knew exactly what she meant then. And that was less than a year. It was less than that year. And I was like, I thought I had a year. She was like, no, you got a gift. You got a gift. You already, you know what you're doing. You got that book out. You keep taking these classes. You know exactly what you're doing. I said, okay.
But let me ask you, okay, because clearly you had already had like a unofficial coach mentor with Marklin.
With Marklin, yeah.
How did she help you? How did
Marklin?
How did the lady that you were working with, your mentor?
She kind of really didn't. she just allowed me a place to be and to help with her load.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
So she had a heavy load, but she also, that wasn't her full-time job. She
Gotcha.
worked in corporate America. So
Okay.
what I found out later was she was trying to get me in to
Mm-hmm.
work in her salon so she
Mm-hmm.
can further her career, and I was like her middle person.
So she indirectly helped you with the business side of the house.
Correct. The mind your business part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then Marklin also helped you in that mind the business with those subtle nudges to mind your business, right?
Correct. Also,
Got-
we had a Sisterlock consultant group on Facebook.
okay.
And I would put my installs on it. I always counted the locks, and I always counted my establishment, and I would always post that. So a lot of consultants from all over the world would be like, you just started doing Sisterlocks, and you got this many under your belt, and I've been doing them for this long and that long." And a lot of other seasoned consultants would ask me certain questions that I thought they already knew the answers to because they've been doing it longer than me. But they will come to me and ask me questions. And I was like, I didn't think I knew as much as they did because they were seasoned. But because I stayed on top of the trainings,
Right.
I stayed in Marklin's ear, and I
Right.
stayed in my book, and I wanted to make sure that I was really producing the product that clients are asking for, that they want to pay for, that
Yeah.
they're paid for. So if I had to tell anybody that's taking the class the first time, don't go in and leave out the same, like they say in church. Don't leave the same way you came, in Jesus' name.
That's right.
Don't go in empty and come out empty. Gain something from it. Forget everything that you knew before dealing with hair. As far even if you were a braider, even if you were a cosmetologist, or whatever you knew prior to stepping into the door, your first day of class, leave it at the door, because what you're going to find when you come to the door is going to be brand new. And if you try to mesh what you already knew with what you're learning, then you're going to have problems. Yeah, so it's better to start with a blank slate.
Now, how did you, I mean, like looking back on it now, right? Like, how did you benefit greatly for having that coach? I mean,
I didn't realize some of the steps I would skip because I was so excited about the finished product. So, we want to hurry up and finish it, kind of like baking a cake.
Yeah.
It's certain ingredients you have to put in that cake. Even if you buy a box cake, the cake is already mixed. It's still ingredients that you have to put in that cake for you to get the final product, right?
Yeah.
Even after you get the final product, you still got to cook the cake. Still got to go through another process before you can icing it, before it can still indeed be the finished product. Absolutely. You have to go through certain steps. You can't skip them. And if you skip them, you'll see them later on down the road. So Barkley, she stayed on me, and I guess some of the steps that I was skipping, like the water test and all that kind of stuff, and really seeing the characteristics of the locks, waiting the 2 weeks, and when you put in the sample locks for the client to come back, or at least send you some pictures, or give you some idea of what those test locks did. Skipping those steps, just trying to get that money. I found I had to take a back and step back and do it the way the book says do it. I can't. I just turned 49.
Go ahead.
So in August. So all year I kept saying, I'm ready to be 50. I'm ready to be 50. And my daughter was like, well, and my fiance was like, you turned 49 before you turned 50. So you can't keep saying you're going to celebrate your 50th birthday and you hadn't celebrated your 49th birthday.
We don't even know what the Lord got in store around here.
Everything has to be in order. You can't get to chapter 6 until you read through chapters 1 through 5.
So 2013. So what is this? 7 and 2. This been 9 years now. 9 years. You started at the salon.
And then I started traveling.
Oh yeah, you was a traveling consultant
for 3 years.
Go ahead.
I did that.
What places? Give me some ideas.
I went to Virginia. Now my staples was Virginia, Maryland every 6 weeks.
Okay.
South Carolina and Georgia every 6 weeks.
Wow. Go ahead.
So I did that for 3 years.
Okay.
In addition to when they would send me plane tickets and I would fly out.
Okay. Good stuff. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that was awesome. I got to meet a lot of
Is that why they call you the hair hustler? Is that
yes, girl,
your
yes.
nickname is the hair hustler,
The
right?
hair hustler, that's right. So, my dad is a contractor, and
Okay.
so I learned growing up. I had to lay hardwood floors and tile, and he taught me how to read a tape measure and a ruler, and to also always make sure everything was precise and to measure everything out. So when I started doing Sister Locks, I took that same concept as in I always have a tape measure when I doing an establishment because I want to measure. I try to measure from the ear to the ear and this section here and this section because I want to make sure it's as close to perfect as possible
Well,
to
your
be
work
sure.
looked perfect just like that. I
So
mean, I'm not
I
even
pull it out.
surprised to hear that you pull out the ruler because everything I done seen is just so.
Yeah. And and when they tell us about the different dimensions as far as the graduating of the sizes,
Yes.
if you use the tape measure, it actually has the different
Sign.
lines on there to let
Yeah.
you know what's a half an inch, what's a
Yeah.
quarter of an inch, what's a fourth of an inch. And so I use that because that's what I grew up knowing, using a tape measure. So I always have a tape measure around my neck
Come
when
on with it. Now this
when I
is a
first
true
started
profession.
doing yes, I do. And I get in the front of them that knows that this part, the center part, is
Mm-hmm.
very important to me because I got a gap. So I
Okay.
feel like with this gap that God gave me and
Yes.
this nose that God gave me, everything got to line up straight.
Come on now, Freda. Tell the people out
So so my clients, when I do their installs, I always line up the center part with their nose. I say, if
there.
God put it there, it got to be right.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge?
Too much. So Freda, okay. Now we didn't travel.
Yeah.
You was in the salon. We didn't travel a little bit. You did a little home base. Where are we now?
Right now, I'm in a salon.
Okay.
My daughter's in a salon. I convinced her to take the class as
Mm-hmm.
well. She
Mm-hmm.
was like, she wanted to learn how to do sister locks, and she thought she can just uh hustle, like we used to do back in the day. This will know how to do it. We're gonna learn how to do it because that will know how to do it.
Yes.
That's not how we operate in the sister lock world. And then this is my child. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, you're gonna take the sister lock class and you're gonna pay for it.
Yes.
Because if you pay for it, you will respect it better, and you will learn better because it's your money that you're spending. So you will really want to do what you're supposed to be doing. So you don't throw my money away, but you will do right by your own money.
Mm-hmm.
So when she decided to take the class, I said that I would take it with her,
Mm-hmm.
just for support.
Yeah.
So I also got to take a refresher while she was learning for the first time. And you end up being her consultant, I mean, her trainer
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that class. And that class was held in Maryland.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that was exciting. That's where I met you at for the first time,
Absolutely.
when my daughter took the class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell her mama did sister locks. Yeah. Absolutely. So if you can just give us a sneak peek of what's in store now, because obviously you've done a lot. We've done it
Yeah,
full time,
we've done a
part
lot.
time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
what
when I
is
first started that, remember, I was working a full-time job while
right?
I was traveling.
Right.
So,
So you done did it
yeah.
part time, full time, same as me, right? Part time, full time, sometime traveling, home base, salon. So what does Freda have in store now?
So, this trichologist that I'm hearing a lot
Ooh,
about.
ooh,
Yes, I'm hearing a lot about that.
yes,
And
ma'am.
as I get older, I too can benefit from the knowledge of it. And
Yes,
a lot of the people that sit in the chairs, I see, and we can see more on their head than they actually can see themselves, and to
right.
see that they need this assistance.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they were told to just wear a wig.
Mm,
If you look in the Black Southern churches, and you see a lot of the people that's 60, 65 or older,
mhm,
majority of them are wearing wigs
mhm.
or they're bald
Yeah,
because they don't know any other way.
right.
Scripture says we perish for lack of knowledge. And
Mhm,
because you don't have that knowledge, you don't know what to do. Thank
right.
God now, this present day and time, we have trichology, which is the study of hair loss.
Yeah.
And I want to learn more about it so I can put that on my
Your
my
client.
clients
Yeah.
And not just my clients. I was checking out my daddy the other day, and I was looking at him, and I was looking like he might can benefit from some of this too. He got some stuff going on, at the top. I'm like, oh, you might be my guinea pig, like practice on you a little bit.
Oh, that's I look forward to bring you in the fold with that there, Freda.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a nutshell, if you could tell me kind of briefly, because I know it's huge. I mean, because even from the beginning of your story, obviously your aunt was your angel to even
Yeah.
brought you into the Sisterlocks society. Um, how has Sisterlocks impacted your life?
Looking and speaking to her yesterday was the 11th anniversary of her death.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So 11th anniversary of her death is the
Mhm.
10th year that I've been a Sisterlock wearer and
Okay.
9 years that I've been a consultant.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the impact that she has put on me is if with Sisterlocks, I had a business before. I had a daycare center. So I've
Okay.
always been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
But to see a woman sit in a chair, wear her sweats or a t-shirt, no makeup, no earrings, just natural. She with us for up to 30 hours over the course
Mhm.
of 2 or 3 days. And at that time, she's tired. She's been in that chair, worn out, just ready to get it over with. And when I finish, and she gets up and walks over to the mirror and see herself for the first time,
Mhm.
and to see them actually cry
Lord today.
because they love who they see in the mirror for
Mhm.
the first time in such a very long time.
Mhm.
Because we as Black women have been taught to that our hair is an oppression.
Mhm.
That our hair will never behave the way we want to behave unless it has a chemical in it.
Mhm.
And I thank God for Dr. C
Yeah.
coming up with this concept that Sisterlocks is I mean, I don't knock any other
Right.
locking system,
Right.
but as for me and my house,
Right. 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 Right.
you know,
Yeah.
Sisterlocks has it just opened so many avenues and so many doors for me. My mom was in the hospital and had a stroke,
Mhm.
and while we were in the waiting room, the Lord came to me and told me then you can quit your full-time job and do Sisterlocks full-time.
Mhm.
In the midst of my despair, I
Mhm.
don't know if she's gonna live or not.
Mhm.
I decided to quit my job and
Mhm.
put everything into Sisterlocks.
Go
And
ahead.
that was in 2015. It was in 2015.
All
And
right.
this is 2022. This is so 7 years I've
Right.
been full time. 7 is completion. I just got that. Thank you. 7 is completion. And
Yes.
so this is my 7th year being full time with Sisterlocks.
Come
And
on.
had I not listened, had I not had Marklin, later on I was able to have your assistance to be
Mhm.
able to, I call y'all my aunties in the Sisterlock world, and that I can reach out and help me as far as with the business side of it, because I got the concept down with the fine motor skills. I got that part down.
Right.
I got that. The paperwork side, the mind your business part of it,
Right.
to get the getting certified part of, to furthering your career in it, to having more knowledge under your belt. That part I had to have help with, and I thank God for having people that had already crossed that threshold
Right.
that was able to reach back and to pull me. And in turn, I was able to reach back with my daughter and to pull her. And in turn, she was able to reach back to her first cousin, and she did with her taking the class that I did with my daughter. So
That's good stuff.
it's each one was there each one teach one.
That's right.
Um, we need each other to survive, in order to, this sisterhood. My motto for Locks on Horizon is Sisterlocks is a sisterhood like no other.
Yes. So I
You know,
have your information. Make sure it's right. This is Locks
Locks
on
on
the
the Horizon.
Horizon on
Yes,
Facebook and
yes.
IG, right?
Yeah,
Let's
you
see.
got it.
Let me make sure. Oh, I don't think I I deleted your phone number. Tell me your phone number. They
It
can
is
reach
252
252
767
67. Uh-huh.
8734.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. see if I can get it to show. All right. Here
That's
is
it.
Rita's number if you guys want to reach her. Are you still the hustler? Are you still traveling?
I'm still traveling. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'm at home in North Carolina right now, and it is, what time is it? It's 1:02 here. And
Yeah.
I'm about to get on the road heading to Richmond, Virginia, your neighborhood, because
Okay.
I have a consultation for a new establishment at 5 o'clock.
Oh, look at there. So listen, if you guys want to reach Miss Freda, here is her information. Her phone number is here. I'll also listed some other places on social media as well. But thank you so much. Thank you so,
I
so
enjoyed
much.
you.
I so appreciate the conversation. I appreciate you taking the time to have a conversation. You know, we love our sister locks.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
wanted to where I really I think part of our conversation, we've had a conversation and it kind of sparked something in me to say it's time to introduce these beautiful people to the world. I mean, we see the name on the Sister Lock website, right? And then
Right.
some of us are on social media, some of us not, but we're doing great work. We all make up the Sister Lock Society. So I wanted the
Right.
world to see our faces and hear our stories of how we became consultants and how it's important or why it's important to get certified, and then also getting a coach, having
Yeah.
a mentor, a coach that will help you so that you won't have to hit some of these roadblocks out here.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon because we got to get on that trichology side of the house now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you. You take care, Freda.
You too.
All
Bye bye.
right, bye bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and joining us. And to be continued, we have more practitioners, more certified sister law consultants to introduce to you. So be good. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.